Ladies and gentlemen, this is a G20 held on African soil for the very first time. So I think it is appropriate that we then also hear from African civil society. And who we will welcome on stage next will be Dr. William Carew, Head of Secretariat for the African Union, ECOSOCC. He holds a PhD or is a PhD candidate at the University of Stellenbosch in Cape Town in South Africa, pursuing doctoral studies in development planning and public administration, and has a master's degree in strategic management from the University of Derby in the UK. He has more than 20 years experience in international development, serving in countries such as Ghana, Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, Ivory Coast, Ethiopia, and presently in Zambia. Can we give him a round of applause as he comes up on stage to deliver his remarks?
Thank you very much. I thought I was graduating today with my PhD. Excellency, let me start by recognizing the Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, the Mayor, the UN Assistant Secretary General and Director of UNDP Regional Bureau, the G20 Co-Convenor, Your Excellencies, distinguished delegate representatives of civil society across the globe, and also all civil society organization leaders, including the ECOSOCC presiding officer, brothers and sisters. It is with profound honor and deep sense of historic responsibility that I stand before you today, speaking on behalf of the 1.8 billion Africans, both from the continent and the diaspora. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you warm greetings from the Economic, Social, and Cultural Council of the African Union, the voice of the African civil society within the continental governance architecture, representing the aspirations, struggles, and triumphs of grassroots communities across our 55 member states and the diaspora. We are gathered here today at a historic juncture of global governance, which we are about to shape together through the G20 Social Summit Declaration that will emerge from our gathering here. Let me begin by expressing my profound gratitude to the Republic of South Africa for its visionary leadership in hosting this G20 Social Summit under the transformative theme of solidarity, equality, and sustainability. Africa's G20 Summit is a statement to the world that we are no longer content to be observers of our own destiny, but we are builders of a new global order. Excellencies, let us speak candidly. The current architecture of global governance was constructed in an era where Africa was left aside. The institutions that purport to govern our collective future were designed in the aftermath of conflicts we did not initiate, in rooms where our voice were absent, and according to principles that often contradict our lived realities. This results into a world order that perpetuates rather than rectify historical injustice. Consider these stark realities below. Africa holds 30% of the world's mineral reserves, possesses 60% of the world's arable land, and is home to the youngest population on Earth, and yet we remain on the periphery of global economic decision-making. Our continent contributes less than 4% of global greenhouse emissions, yet we bear catastrophic brunt of climate change. We possess the resources that power the digital revolution, yet we are positioned as consumers rather than creators of technological future. This is not a call for charity or concession. This is a demand for justice. This is an insistence that the global order must be reimagined, reconstructed, and rebuilt on foundation of genuine equity, mutual respect, and shared prosperity. The old paradigm of development assistance predicated on dependency must give way to partnership rooted in dignity and reciprocity. The time has come of Africa transition from being a subject of global policy to being the principal author of it. For far too long, decisions affecting our people, our resources, and our futures have been made in capitals far from our shores. For far too long, we have been reactive and responding to crises manufactured elsewhere, adapting to frameworks imposed upon us, accepting narratives written about us rather than by us. Through Agenda 2063, the African Continental Free Trade Area, and the forthcoming decade of African reparation, we are charting a course towards self-determination. Distinguished participants, if this new world order is to be legitimized, it must be built with the active participation of civil society. Government alone cannot engineer the transformation. We seek the private sector. We know you cannot alone guarantee equity. International institutions alone cannot guarantee accountability. It is the civil society that provides the moral compass and the grassroots legitimacy essential for sustainable change. ECOSOCC stands as the institutional bridge between the aspiration of the grassroots communities and the policy corridors of the African Union. In the context of this G20 Social Summit, civil society brings what formal institutions often lack: proximity to reality. When we discuss food security, we bring the perspective of smallholder farmers facing drought. When we debate digital transformation, we amplify the concerns of communities lacking basic connectivity. When we deliberate on social protection, we carry the stories of informal workers without safety net. Our participation is not a courtesy, it is a necessity. As we embark on these 3 days of deliberation, I call upon all stakeholders present to approach this summit with the seriousness it deserves. It is our earnest appeal to the G20 member states. We need to recognize that Africa's participation through South Africa is not a favor extended to us, but a necessity for your own legitimacy. A G20 without meaningful African engagement is incomplete and ultimately ineffective. Our challenges are global challenges. Our solutions are global solutions. Excellencies, distinguished guests, we stand at a crossroad. One path leads to the perpetuation of an inequitable global order where Africa remains marginalized despite its centrality to global prosperity. The other path leads to a restructured international system where solidarity is not a rhetoric, but a practice, where equality is not aspiration, but reality, where sustainability is not a slogan, but a standard. Let this G20 Social Summit be remembered for its impact on the ordinary African citizen. Yours in solidarity, I thank you.